A daughter-in-law sneers at her poor mother-in-law. Then a shocking secret changes everything. On a dusty little road winding toward the village bus stop, Mrs. Ngok shuffled along, her worn-out suitcase bumping against her leg. She wore an old outfit, patched in spots but spotless, ironed with care, a testament to her quiet dignity. There was no rush in her step, no slump of exhaustion, just a glimmer in her eyes, a blend of excitement tinged with a whisper of worry. Today was big. She was leaving her rural home for the city, where her only son Hung lived with his wife and kid. It was a trip she'd dreamed of for years, a chance to knit her family closer after so much time apart. Mrs. Ngok's life had been a roller coaster of highs and lows, mostly lows. She'd lost her husband decades ago when Hung was just 10, a construction accident, a falling beam, and he was gone, leaving her with a pile of debt and a little boy to raise. Most folks would have crumbled, but not Ngok. She dug in her heels, taking on any gig she could, hoeing rice fields under a blazing sun, weaving baskets by candlelight deep into the night, just to keep food on the table and books in Hung's hands. In their small village, she became a familiar sight, a wiry figure bent over crops at harvest or hunched over crafts, her calloused fingers threading extra cash for his school fees. Neighbors would shake their heads and say, "Knox had it tough, but she's lucky. Hung's a good kid, smart too." And they weren't wrong. Hung lived up to her sacrifices, aced his classes, snagged a spot at a top-notch college, and landed a cushy city job. To Mrs. Ngok, he was her shining star, the heart of her world. A few years back, Hung tied the knot with Tui, a city girl with a sharp edge. Their wedding was cozy enough, but Mrs. Ngok caught a vibe from Tui. Smooth-talking and polished. Sure, but never warm. Not really. After the I-do's, Hung's visits home trickled to a rare drip, swallowed up by his busy life. Mrs. Ngok didn't fuss. She figured he had his own family now, and she wasn't one to cling. Alone in her creaky little house, surrounded by rice paddies and familiar faces, she kept busy, tending her garden, chatting with neighbors. Never lonely, just steady. Hung would call now and then, nudging her to move to the city. "Come stay with us, Mom. Be near your grandson." She'd always wave it off, not wanting to cramp their style. But this time, his voice carried a new urgency. "Mom, please come live with us. The little guy misses you, and we could use your help." Her heart tugged. After days of mulling it over, she packed up, ready to bridge the miles between them. The night before she left, she slipped out to her husband's grave, lighting a stick of incense in the cool dusk. "Honey, I'm heading to our boy. He needs me," she murmured, her breath curling in the air. At first light, she locked her door, suitcase in tow, a beat-up thing Hung had bought her with his first paycheck over a decade ago, scratched and faded but priceless to her, plus a cloth sack stuffed with odds and ends. At the bus stop, she settled onto a bench, watching folks bustle by, caught up in their own orbits. She fished out an old handkerchief from her pocket, one she'd embroidered for Hung when he was a kid. Every stitch a little piece of her love. Holding it, she stared into the distance, her mind drifting to what lay ahead. Thrilled to hug Hung and meet her grandson, nervous about city life and Tui's frosty demeanor. The bus rumbled off, leaving the village behind, golden fields stretching wide, dirt paths winding homeward. Mrs. Ngok let out a soft sigh, a quiet goodbye to the life she'd known, steeling herself to be the mom and grandma they needed. On the ride, she struck up a chat with a friendly woman next to her. "Off to the city?" the woman asked, smiling. "Seeing family." Mrs. Ngok's face lit up, pride sneaking into her voice. "Yeah, my son's bringing me to live with them. Help with the grandkid. Keep us close." The woman nodded, eyes warm. "That's a blessing. Most old folks just hope their kids don't forget them. You've got a good one." Mrs. Ngok chuckled. "I do. He's always been there for me." When the bus pulled into the city station, Hung was waiting, tall, lean, his face breaking into a grin as he jogged over to grab her suitcase. "Mom, you holding up after the ride?" he asked, worry creasing his brow. She shook her head. "Not tired, just itching to see my grandson." On the drive to their place, Hung filled her in. Work was good, life was busy, and he was pumped she'd finally come. But as they neared the high-rise, his tone shifted, hesitant. Mom, ease into it, okay? Tui's got a temper sometimes, but she's solid deep down. The warning threw her a bit, though she just smiled and nodded, brushing it off. Their apartment was a stunner, tucked in a ritzy complex, all sleek lines and modern shine. Mrs. Ngok's jaw dropped at the sight. Plush sofa, fancy chandelier dangling overhead, everything gleaming like a magazine spread. Tui greeted her at the door, voice clipped. Tired from the trip, Mom? Then she spun away. No fuss, no warmth. Stepping inside, Mrs. Ngok felt like she'd walked into a showroom. Beautiful but hollow, missing the soul of a real home. Tui pointed her to a small room off the hall. This is yours. Let me know if you need anything. Her words were flat, perfunctory. Mrs. Ngok thanked her quietly, unpacking her meager haul, a few outfits, some basics, and set the handkerchief on her nightstand. A flicker of doubt tugged at her, but she clung to hope, a simple wish to be near her family, to weave new memories in her twilight years. Her first days in the city were a whirlwind, half awe, half ache. The apartment had every gadget imaginable, but it felt sterile, a far cry from the cozy chaos of her village shack. Tui wasn't cruel exactly, but her unease was loud. She didn't want Mrs. Ngok sticking around. Next morning, true to habit, Mrs. Ngok rose with the sun, tiptoeing to the kitchen. She washed greens, fired up a pot of water spinach soup with fish paste, a taste of home she couldn't resist. Hung woke to the scent, bounding in with a grin. Mom, you cooked? Man, I've missed this. He plopped down, digging in. Tui appeared, her gaze skimming the meal with a scowl. Mom, you don't need to cook. We get breakfast delivered, she said, her tone sharp, almost accusing. Mrs. Ngok faltered. Just wanted to make something for us like back home. Tui grabbed a slice of bread from the fridge and walked off. Hung smoothed it over. Don't sweat it, Mom, she's just stressed. She tried pitching in, washing dishes, folding clothes, but Tui shot down every effort. One day she hand-washed her grandson's outfits, unsure of the fancy machine. Tui exploded. Why bother? We've got a washer. People will think we're stuck in the Stone Age. Mrs. Ngok bowed her head, swallowing the sting. She didn't argue, though a quiet sadness settled in. Hung stayed mum, stuck between his wife's edge and his mom's hurt. One night, after tidying dinner, she retreated to her room, the dim lamp casting shadows on the handkerchief. Did I mess up? She wondered, memories of her laughter-filled village home flooding back. This place was slick and new, but so cold. Where was the heart? She decided to scale back, tending only to Hung's balcony plants, the one corner that felt like hers. Trouble brewed again when she cooked Hung's old favorite, sour fish soup, steaming and fragrant. He beamed. Mom, this is my childhood. Perfect. Tui's face tightened. Mom, this doesn't work for us. We're into Western food. People will think we're broke. Her voice dripped scorn. Hung pushed back. Tui, this means something to me. Ease up. She snapped. Keep your nostalgia to yourself. I don't want guests judging us. Mrs. Ngok's chest ached. She felt like an intruder. That night, sleepless, she made up her mind. If she was just a burden, she'd go. Tui's digs kept coming. Tidying the living room, Mrs. Ngok dusted a family photo. Tui stormed in. Don't touch our stuff. You'll mess it up. Mrs. Ngok apologized, retreating. Another time, Tui hosted chic friends, laying out a spread of European bites. Mrs. Ngok, eager to connect, offered homemade rice cakes. Try these. Simple but good. Tui hissed. Mom, this isn't a farm stand. Take it away. Her friends smirked. Mrs. Ngok hid her pain, shuffling off, tears brimming but unshed. The final straw hit at dinner. She'd cooked a village feast. Sour soup, braised pork, boiled greens. Hung lit up. Mom, it's been forever. This is heaven. Tui barely ate, then lashed out. Mom, this isn't our style. I don't want my kid eating poor people's food. Cook modern, or I'll order out. Hung bristled. She slaved over this. Watch it. Tui doubled down. This is our house, not your mom's backwoods. She needs to get that. The words sliced through the room. Mrs. Ngok cleared the table in silence, Tui's venom ringing in her ears. She packed her suitcase that night, old clothes, the handkerchief, a faded family photo, leaving a note. Sorry I didn't fit. I'm going home. Care for the baby. No grudges, just peace. Visit if you can. Before sunrise, she slipped out, boarding a bus back to her village. Fields rolled past, tugging at her heart. Her old house waited, rickety but hers. Neighbors gawked. Back already in Gawk? She smiled. This fits me. The city's not my speed. Alone, she felt free. One morning, tending her garden, a local official dropped a bombshell. Your land's part of a huge project. You're getting $1.2 million. Mrs. Ngok nearly dropped her rake. Her humble plot, where she'd raised hung, was now a gold mine. Word zipped through the village. Folks cheered, but she stayed grounded, fixing her house, giving $400,000 to charity, banking the rest for a quiet life. Joy came from helping others, not the cash. When Tui heard, greed flared. She saw dollar signs plotting to snag it. Hung, we've got to bring Mom back. I messed up before, but I'll make it right, she said, feigning regret. Hung, guilt-ridden over his mom's ordeal, agreed. Okay, but treat her right this time. Tui nodded, eyes glinting. They drove to the village with Luck's gifts, watches, designer clothes, fancy vitamins, to butter her up. Mrs. Ngok's new home stunned them, simple but elegant, a lush garden blooming out front. Tui groveled. Mom, I'm so sorry. Come live with us. It's not safe here with all that money. Mrs. Ngok stayed cool, seeing the game. Tui pushed. Let us manage it. We'll invest. Grow it for you. Mrs. Ngok sipped her tea. I've given a chunk to charity. The rest is safe in the bank. I don't need much. Just family and peace. Tui's mask cracked. Irritation seeped out. She vented to Hung later. She's stubborn. Make her give it to us. Hung saw red. It's hers. Stop this. Tui's scheme flopped. Her harsh words leaked at work. Friends drifted. Deals soured. Her status tanked. At home, Hung pulled away, taking the kid to see Mrs. Ngok solo. Tui stewed in regret, alone with the mess she'd made. Mrs. Ngok thrived, giving back and savoring her days, her silence a lesson. Family trumps fortune every time.